Welcome to the EHC TV Sports Interview. I'm Logan Nestor alongside of Jonathan Romano, a men's tennis player. How are you today, Jonathan?
I'm doing good, Logan.
All right, Jonathan. A little bit of disappointment. The fall season was supposed to start tomorrow, but that match has been postponed. Were you disappointed when you heard that news?
I was, because I was really looking forward to getting the season started, but there's these unexpected things happen, so it's just something you have to deal with as an athlete.
And you're a little bit larger part of the team this year. Last year you were an alternate. This year you're going to be fifth, sixth seed, something like that. That's where you played in the spring season. Is that exciting?
It is exciting because I finally get to show the other teams what I can do, and hopefully I'll be able to be a major asset for the team.
All right, let's talk about that spring season. The team had three matches during the spring season. Explain to me how the team did.
The team did well. We had 3 matches. We won 2. The third was really tough. We didn't get killed or anything, but it was a really tough match.
All right, and you as a tennis player, you come from Southwest Virginia. It's not exactly the tennis capital of the world. So how did you get started?
I got started by, my uncle is actually a professional tennis coach, and he had 2 clay courts at his house, at where he lived, and I would go up there since I was probably 10 years old, and I would just play tennis all day long during the summers and after school.
All right, and clay courts, they're a little bit, they're rare. They're hard to come by in this part of the country especially. So what was that like? Do you feel like that shaped your game in a different way?
I definitely feel like the kind of court that you grow up playing the game on affects your game. On clay, the tennis ball moves a lot slower, so it's easier to like plan your movements, whereas on a hard court, it's a lot more fast-paced game.
So did you feel like it was an advantage or a disadvantage coming from clay courts to hard courts in high school and college?
I think it was an advantage in the sense that you don't have clay courts around here very much, but I had like an equal balance between clay courts and hard courts, so it wasn't really a disadvantage, I don't think.
And you said your uncle is a professional tennis coach. How important has he been to your development, having someone in your family who's so talented and knows so much?
So important. He was the first person who showed me how to do everything from basics to improving my game still today.
And the men's tennis team had a stellar season last season, finished second in the ODAC, gave good runs against teams like Washington Lee, who's a national power. Was that an exciting season to be a part of as a freshman?
It was, because there are a lot of seniors who had so much experience, so it was really something to look up to on top of the really successful season.
Do you feel like you learned from those seniors?
Oh yeah, I really do. They taught me how to deal with tennis on a collegiate level, with like stress if you're down in a match or things like that.
And what were some specific lessons that some of the seniors gave you?
I think the best advice that they gave me was to try not to think too much and to just do what you know how to do.
You always hear about the speed of the game in any collegiate sport versus a high school sport. Did you find that was a big difference, the speed of the game?
Yeah, definitely from going from a high school level to a college level, it's definitely more fast-paced. The skill levels are higher in your opponents, so it really forces you to get better.
And there was a coaching change before the season started. What's the difference in styles between the old coach and the new coach?
I really think the new coach works with us more on a personal level, whereas our old coach was very brute in the sense that we needed to learn every aspect of tennis that we could.
And do you feel like which one of those styles hits you more? Because the old coach was very successful and may have been a little harder to play for, but very successful. Do you feel like that success was something that will be able to be repeated?
I think so. I know with this coach, he's very involved on the court while we're playing, and that's something that me personally as a player that I like, on like game changeovers when the coach will come over and tell you what you're doing wrong and help you out. That's something that I really benefit from. But that's not for everyone. Some players like to keep to themselves during their matches. But I think that for our team that he's a really good fit for that in that sense.
What are your personal goals this season? What things do you want to accomplish?
I think our biggest goals are because we have more freshmen this year than upperclassmen. I think what we're looking at right now is trying to get them into the collegiate level and getting them used to playing college matches.
You were a freshman just a year ago. What advice are you going to give the new freshmen?
Probably the same like we talked about earlier, just use your head during a match. Don't try not to get flustered, because I know that's a big problem with me. But I think they're going to do great.
All right, and tennis, you're out there by yourself unless you're playing doubles, but it's scored as a team sport at the collegiate level. So how does that work for you as a tennis player? Do you feel like you're part of a team, or do you feel like you're playing an individual sport?
I know that when I was in high school, I didn't see a real big team aspect to it. I always just kind of focused on my singles matches and then didn't really worry about anything else. But now, since I've been playing at Emory, I've come to realize that it is a team, and where you're cheering your teammates on even if you're playing your match. In between your points, you're cheering your teammates on. So there's definitely more of a team feel to it here than I felt than high school.
All right, and since you're invested in your team's success, what finish in the ODAC standings is going to make it a successful season?
Right now we're said to finish 8th, but I think we'll do a lot better than that. I think people are underestimating us.
All right, and can I sucker you into giving me an exact prediction?
There's no way to tell for sure. Like I said, we haven't started any matches yet, but I'm hoping for top 5 for sure.
I can tell you've been trained to talk to the media about team success. Thanks for being here, Jonathan, and thanks for the insight. That'll do it for the EHC TV Sports interview. For Jonathan Romano, I'm Logan Nestor, and now we'll send it to the Sports Update.